Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Okay, I hope you've read chapter 1. Chapter 1 deals with a brief introduction of our subject, which is engineering economy or engineering economics. I think for the ABE class, the title of their course is engineering economy. The rest of the other courses in the engineering or programs in engineering economics ang subject natin. But I think the contents would be the same or similar yung content niya. So, same na rin yung lectures natin for both courses or subjects. Okay? So, chapter 1 dealt with the introduction of engineering economics or engineering economy. And I gave you a requirement for that. I hope you all uh, submitted the requirement for chapter 1. Now let's proceed to chapter 2. Chapter 2 is divided into different lessons. Okay, medyo mahaba ang chapter 2. Napakaraming lessons under chapter 2. Okay, so I have decided to divide it into different lessons na lang or parts para hindi tayo mahirapan ano. Ako rin din mahirapan sa pag-lecture. Hindi ko i-lecture lahat in a single video. Okay, so we'll be conducting a series of lectures relative to the different lessons under chapter 2 and perhaps for the succeeding chapters. Okay, so lesson 1 for chapter 2 is money time value relationships and equivalence. Okay, lesson 1 would be interest and the time value of money. So discussing interest and the time value of money. Okay, what is interest? Okay, interest is the amount of money paid or for the use of borrowed capital or income produced by money which has been loaned. Okay, so that's the definition of interest. So pag nagpahiram ka ng pera, nagpa-loan ka, so may interest yan. So after 1 month, meron siyang yung ano ba, nagpa-loan ka ng 1,000,000. So after 1 year, so usapan ninyo ng nag-loan sa'yo ay magbibigay siya ng 10% interest. That means magbibigay siya ng 100,000 nakita ng pera na pinaloan mo. Okay, so that's interest. Okay, so yan. Cash flow, I think may definition ng cash flow din sa I think meron yata sa module natin yung cash. I forgot to write it on the whiteboard. So cash flow is basically the flow of money. So ang flow is pwedeng papasok or papalabas. Depende kung depends dun sa perspective kung ikaw yung nagpapa-loan or ikaw yung naghihiram ng pera, no? So pag ikaw yung nagpa-loan, so may lumabas kang pera. At the same time, kapag nagbayad siya, may pumapasok. Okay, nakita ng pera mong pinaloan mo. So that's cash flow. So yung lumabas, may papasok na pera. So basically, ganun yung idea ng cash flow, and later on we will be analyzing cash flows. Very complex if you deal with cash flows in a certain company. So you will be dealing with complex cash flows. Okay, so maraming factors sa cash flow natin, napakarami, and we will discuss the details of these cash flows later on in succeeding topics. Now, elements of transaction involving interest. So ano yung pag nag-transact tayo involving interest, meron tayong mga dapat isaalang-alang na mga terms or elements. Okay, number 1 would be, so the initial amount of money invested or borrowed in transactions is called the principal. Okay, so yung initial amount, yung hiniram mo na pera, so kung naghiram ka ng 1 million, okay, yun yung initial amount or which is the principal. Okay, so miram ka ng pera, so pag binayaran mo na, syempre may tubo na yun, may interest na. Ayan. So yung initial na pera hiniram mo, we call that the principal. Next would be the interest rate ay measures the cost of or price of money and is called the percentage per period of time. Okay, so interest rate, the cost or price of money, and is called the percentage per period of time. So yung interest yung binabayaran natin kapag ikaw yung borrower, humiram ng pera, yung binabayaran natin. Okay, so pag humiram tayo, so on top dun sa hiniram natin, merong certain percentage ng interest, certain percentage na dagdag, no, na babalik dun sa pinanghiraman natin ng pera. We call that the interest rate. So rate yan, ibig sabihin that involves time, no? So pwedeng ang interest rate mo ay, ang rate mo ay per month, per year. So every year, usually nagko-coincide yan sa pagbabayad mo ng loan mo or ng hiniram mong pera. So kung ang contract or ang pinagkasundo ninyo, you're going to pay monthly. So may per month yung binabayaran mong interest. Pwede rin namang quarterly. So 4 times a year ka nagbabayad. So may corresponding interest yan kapag nagbayad ka quarterly. So merong corresponding na patong yung perang hiniram, yung bayad, magbabayad ka with corresponding patong dun sa hiniram mong pera. Okay? And a plan of for receipts or disbursements. Hindi ba, number 3. Number 3 is the number of interest periods. Yung sinasabi ko kanina na monthly or quarterly, okay, or yearly, every 15th of the month, yun, number of interest periods tawag natin doon. Then a plan for receipts or disbursements that yields a particular cash flow pattern over a specified length of time. For example, we might have a series of equal monthly payments that we pay a loan. Okay, so plan of receipts. So sa kontrata ninyo or dun sa pagkakasunduan ninyo, kung pwedeng magbayad ka monthly or quarterly, so a plan for receipts. And then number 5, a future amount of money results from the cumulative effects of the interest rate over a number of interest periods. So future amount. Okay, so yung future amount ng pera. So may hiniram ka, initial is principal. So may binabayaran kang interest or patong, depende kung ilang interest periods yan, monthly or quarterly or semi-annual. So until mabayaran mo yung loan or nahiniram mo, yung loan mo. So we can compute for the future amount. Okay, yung babayaran mo at the end of the contract or the payment term. Okay, so yun yung future worth or future amount of money. Okay, so yun lang. So please try to remember itong mga to. Principal, yung interest rate I, number of interest periods N, and then the future amount or future worth of money. And then time value of money. Ano ba itong time value of money? Mayroong example sa module. It's a situational example dun sa module natin, explaining this concept na time value of money. So to simplify the explanation, so the amount of money is not actually equal to the value ng pera, especially when it involves time. For example, ang pera mo ngayon is 1 million. 1 million ang pera mo. Okay, 1M. So after a year, so 1 year, after 1 year, so for example, ang inflation rate natin ay medyo mataas, 10% ang inflation rate. Ang inflation rate ay pagbaba ng value ng pera. Okay, yung 1 million mo, ang value na lang niya after 1 year is 900,000. Okay? So, may future, ay may time value ng pera natin. Okay? So, yung 1 million mo, although 1 million yung amount, pero ang value niya is already equivalent to 900,000. So, the same amount, but the value would have to be different already. Okay? Okay, so, ganyan. The same amount, yung 1 million mo ngayon, so, yung 1 million mo next year, although they have the same amount, but the value would be different. So, understand the concept of value. Ganun din naman kapag nag-invest ka ng pera, yung 1 million mo ay in-invest mo, ngayon, for example, 1 million, nag-invest ka at let's say 10%. So, you invested to a certain product, no, or any form of investment. Okay, yung 1 million mo ngayon, after 1 year, at 10%, so ang value niya after 1 year is already equal to, ano na to, 1.1 million na siya after 1 year kapag nag-invest ka. So make sure na kapag nag-invest tayo ng pera natin, make sure na mas mataas yung rate ito compared dun sa inflation rate. Mas mataas siya siyempre para may kitain yung pera mo. So we should always look into the inflation rate. So tingnan natin sa mga investments natin, dapat yung rate of return or rate of investment is greater than the inflation rate para yung value ng pera mo after some time is still greater than its value dun kapag meron ng factor ng inflation. Okay? So that's the time value of money. Okay, kapag hindi mo in-invest yung pera mo, iniipon mo lang sa alkansya, hindi mo siya in-invest, so ang value niyan after some time mas mababa na, no? So importante, if you have money, pwede invest natin yan, no? Pwede rin sa bangko, although mababa sa bangko, ano, sa mga cooperatives if you want to save. Pwede sa mga cooperative medyo mas mataas yung rate of ROR, rate of return nila doon sa cooperatives or any form of investment, you know. Insurance, I think pwede rin may mga nag-offer din ng insurance at the same time investment na rin. So may mga ganong mga agencies or companies, no? So that's the concept of time value of money. A more comprehensive explanation of this concept ay nasa module na in-explain ko doon, medyo mahaba kasi yun, no? May mga situational concepts doon, so you can read all of that and para mas maintindihan natin yung concept ng time value. So value. Okay, so next is simple interest. So what is simple interest? So in this lesson we will be discussing mainly on simple and compound interest. So simple interest is calculated using principal only, ignoring any interest that had been accrued in preceding periods. So in practice, simple interest is paid on short-term loans in which the time of the loan is measured in days. Okay? So we will try to differentiate later on kung ano ang simple interest at tapos yung isang klase ng interest which is compound interest. Okay? So, ang basis natin sa computation ng interest would be the principal only. So, yung initial value ng pera natin, yun palagi ang basis for the computation of interest. So, compound interest kasi, compound interest is interest on top of interest. I will try to explain that on as a separate video or video na lang siguro kasi medyo mahaba ang discussion natin. Okay, so simple interest. So the interest is computed using these formulas. I think a better or more comprehensive explanation is in your modules already. So since the videos I will be making are just supplementary videos, I will make sure that every video is as short and comprehensive as I can para shorter din yung mas konti yung data na mako-consume nyo whenever you watch these videos, you know. So more comprehensive explanation will be in your modules. Okay, simple interest is, so interest P and I. So P principal, N is the number of interest periods, kung ilang days yan. So in this case, days, no? Okay. And then I is the interest rate. Usually per year yan. Interest rate natin. Next would be the future worth. If you want to compute for the future worth, is yung simple interest, ito 1 plus, and the derivation is already in your modules naman. Okay, so we have two types of simple interest. We have ordinary. That means we're going to assume that in 1 year there are 360 days, that which also means that there are 30 days a month, which is not true in reality, ano? Pero that's our assumption when we deal with ordinary simple interest. Now we also have this exact simple interest. From the term exact, which means we're going to consider every single day in the entire year. So for ordinary years, we have 360 days, 365 days I should say, or for leap years we have 366 days for leap years. Okay, so ganun. Okay, so medyo ganun lang naman, simple lang naman, no? So make sure na when you compute for exact simple interest, you consider also yung kung leap year siya or hindi, no? Okay. So let's try to solve some problems regarding this lesson, simple interest. A separate video na lang would be dedicated for the illustrative problem. So see you sa next video for this particular lesson. Okay.